Soul Garden.
Good morning, I am Lovecasting live from the beaches of Huntington Beach, California, and this is your Tuesday Namaste Today. Good morning and namaste and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is Christopher Witecki. I am a psychic astrologer and the Sensei to Serious Joy at your service. Thank you so much for logging into my little web show here. I am live on the beaches of Huntington Beach. It is Tuesday, September 1st, and it's going to be a spectacular day. I feel it. I hope you feel it. Reality is changing. I call it the new meality, and that's based on the idea of creation. If we live in creation, then it's all about us, right? And that's not a selfish thing. Is it selfish that an artist paints what they want to paint? A lot of people talk to me about feeling selfish or following their heart. It's like, what? Is a child selfish for coloring the color they want to color? Not at all. You know, like, do what you want. It only inspires the rest of us. So today, we're stepping into our joy. I am so grateful to be on Huntington Beach right now. I'll tell you why. It's sunrise right now. This is sunrise. I usually tape sunset, just by the nature of my life, but I have managed already in my new reality to turn my life around 12 hours, and now I can shoot in the mornings, which was huge. We're talking about a Taurus here. This is like turning a ship. It takes about, we start turning in April for something like that, like that's how big of a ship I am. So it's a powerful time. I had a great weekend, and people are wondering, this is my new, basically my new Meerage band is what I'm calling it. Really just to remind me that I need to be here for myself. I went to a cool gem fair over the weekend and saw some old friends. And so it's been really a nice time. I'm feeling really good and I'm feeling grateful. And I have a gift for you, my friends. A lot of people have, written and posted over the time like, hey, Chris, where can I read about the steps? And, where are the steps? I don't see it online. The truth is this is my approach to astrology. This is all my approach. And I'm writing a book, The 11 Steps to Serious Joy. And it's coming along well, but as you know, I'm very busy. But nonetheless, we're moving forward. And I thought to myself over the weekend, you know what? I'm going to outline all the steps. So for the next 12 broadcasts, 12 episodes, in my personal blog on soulgarden.tv, I will do a write-up for every step so that people can understand the steps and understand this astronumerology blend. And I'll just say it really quickly. I did daily horoscopes for 5 years, for all 12 signs for 5 years. That's where I got like 15,000 videos on YouTube, was doing scopes. And so I watched the steps, and I just watched the ballet of the planets. And it just dawned on me one day that numerology and astrology work together. They're not meant to be studied apart. It's like different clues to the map. And then sacred geometry is also a clue to the map. And I was like, whoa, we're not even seeing the full picture because we're excluding these other disciplines when we look at each of them. So that's my whole approach to step astrology, and that's my approach to artificial intuition that I programmed into my technology I'm developing, and that's my approach to understanding humanity. I think we have to take a holistic approach, and that's what I do. So if you want to learn the 11 Steps to Serious Joy, it's super simple, and you can learn each day. And again, we're going to take it one step a day. We're starting with step 0 today, and I'll have these, of course, archived on my website at soulgarden.tv for people who want to look it up later. And the last thing I'll say before I dive in with the guides is if you want to manifest something right now, this is the time. And if you follow these 11 steps, it will manifest. What I discovered is that God, universe, whatever you want to call it, put in kind of the secret to manifestation in the 11 steps. It's right there in the numbers. The numbers reveal how the universe works. It's very cleverly hung on the numbers like a coat hanger. And so you can manifest if you follow the 11 steps. The 11 steps of serious joy are the 12 unfoldings of consciousness that leads to a manifestation. And that's my personal fascination, is manifestation. I've always been wondering, like, how does it go from thought to physical? Like, that's my personal study on life. And of course, looking at the numbers and everything from that perspective, yada, 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 here I was. So, gotta say, I'm loving the surfers and the families out here. The surfers, this is their church. And I'm here with them. Praise. All right, so without further ado, let's take a look at you and the planets and talk to my higher self. on the beach, no less. Okay, so, excuse me, clearing up my lungs out here in this fresh air. So, the first thing that comes right away is actually that Jupiter, if Jupiter in Virgo is at step 4, and step 4 is, of course, I belong. So, in essence, this whole week from Tuesday moving forward now, we belong in the new reality. So, if you insist on holding on to the old reality, you might find that things break down. So people who go through breakdowns this week, they want you to know, was because you were insisting on holding on to the old reality. And you may be surprised. In fact, that's another thing I can just share. It's like a lot of times we think someone or something is coming with us to the new reality, and it's like, and they don't, they're just not ready, or they change their mind, or they look in their heart for the first time and really realize they're not there. So there's going to be a lot of shakeup this week is what I'm getting the feel for. And I say week because I shoot Tuesday to Tuesday now. There's going to be a lot of shakeup, and it's because people are moving forward with their new reality. So today the sun is at step 9, and that means today you want to step out of the life condition of which you were born. And in each step, as we go through these 11 steps of serious joy over these next couple of weeks here, in each step, how far do you take it? You take it as far as your highest good, all right? So you always take it as far as your highest good, and that's where you stop. And if you do it for your highest good, it will automatically, by creator consciousness, do it in other people's highest good. They probably won't see it at first, so this is one of those little areas where if you're going to ascend above a situation and call yourself higher, then you can't be, complaining that the person is not seeing you that way, that they're seeing you as trying to keep you lower. You can't be hung up on their opinions if you want to ascend above it. So there's a lot of that, a lot of like getting hooks off of us and our sweaters caught on this fence, and this week, and and the whole mantra is it's okay, which is Neptune. They brought me Neptune, right? So you decide it's okay. I decide it's okay. I decide no matter what happens, it's going to be okay. I decide no matter, what the circumstances are, I'm not getting shaken up inside. I'm going to be calm blue ocean in the morning. And so it is, because I said so. I felt so, right? So stay in that mode of I'm going to be okay regardless, because we are changing our reality clothes. And there's moments when you feel exposed and naked and hung up on things, and you are surprised when people aren't going with you, and you are surprised that some items in your life don't fit anymore and you want them to. It's like, oh man, I want to take this on my trip. Sorry, won't fit in the luggage unless you want to pay another $50 to the airline. Right? So there's a lot of that too. It just brought me to Venus. Oh my goodness, yes. Venus and Mars are coming together, baby. Everything is getting electric. Venus is at step 14 and Mars has crossed to step 15. So the two have made love in the last 24 hours. They are crossing and mixing. What this is our male and female energies are mixing inside. This does mean that all issues of male-female get stirred up. So your sexist people get stirred up. Your sexual abuse wounds get inflamed. People's feelings of sexism and like relationships where they're being disrespected based on their gender, that inflames. And that's all for it to get going and working together. So when these two powerful energies of masculine drive and Venus receive come together, you've got yourself a new whole candy bar there, right? I always say the peanut butter and the chocolate come together, you've got yourself a Reese's, right? And so we're getting some new Reese's off the assembly line right now, and that means that's all part of the magic and wonder of creation. It does mean that a lot of creative, so right now, this is what they just showed me, that's like, some people have creative projects that they've been working on, me included, and so if your creative projects grow right now, that's a good thing, and that's a good sign, and they're meant to grow. If your creative projects start to wilt right now, that means that the coming sun isn't going to support that crop right now, all right? And you should always know that God and the universe never says no. God and the universe just says not yet, all right? So you might be at a not yet with your project, or you might have to go back and do some boundary changing. They just brought me to Saturn, right? Holy shift. Saturn is at 29. I love this whole look at it when I get here thing. Saturn's at 29 today, so that means that we are now grand mastering. I gotta look at the time here. Whoop whoop. Sorry about that, folks. We are grand mastering our boundaries now. So these emotional boundaries that we're putting into play, you know, I can't go into the whole depths of it right now, but you know, we were, you know, the United States in particular, I can't speak for the whole world, but I can speak for the whole world astrologically. In the 80s, we were all just retarded, forgive the expression, but extremely slow at being reactive to where our emotional boundaries were. Or we were hyper because half of them were on cocaine, right? And then Pluto through Scorpio was like, draw some hard lines. That was very hard. For everyone, that was something in the 80s. Childhood for me, my early childhood. Now that Saturn went back to Scorpio most recently, we all had to revisit all those wounds again. And now with Saturn at step 29, this is the final mastery of that. So if you suffer from any sort of emotional trespasser, or if you have been a trespasser, you've trespassed against someone else's emotional lines, this is the time where you simply behave in integrity and it will all heal. Okay? But don't pay attention to it. You just be the next person. And this step 29 of Saturn and Scorpio is the final gelling before Saturn moves to Sag, and the party is on, my friends. The party is on. Anything else, folks? Oh my goodness, okay. They're right. I was like, anything else? Because I think we're running out of time. That's okay. The moon is crossing over Uranus today. They're like, the moon. I'm like, what is the moon? Oh my goodness. The moon crosses over Uranus, so this means that emotionally everyone is very self-centered, and that's a good thing. So everyone's feeling like I. But try to think me, we, me. You know, that's a little bit more powerful into the heart, me over I. I brings on the ego, me brings on the heart. Little difference there. That's why I choose me. And so the me in us is going to have to take it higher. The moon crossing over Uranus, which is going to be pretty much in the early morning. So it might be a grouchy Tuesday morning getting up and getting to work because the moon is crossing Uranus, and that means you have to emotionally take it higher. That also means that you have to emotionally nurture yourself higher, right? Like get yourself through traffic, get yourself through all this craziness. Just get yourself through it is part of that. So get the me through it and take action on your new reality. All right, my friends, it's such a pleasure to be of soul service. I'm so grateful. And I want to remind you that if you'd like me to be with you all day long, I've invented what I call Serious Joy. It's personal Sensei service. It's based on your date of birth, and I will be with you all day long to remind you to stay in your heart. I'll see you folks in 24 hours with more. Until then, remember I love you, and live, love, be.
So